G'day. In this video, we're going to discuss the Temporary Graduate Visa Subclass 485 second post-study workstream. So let's have a quick look at the overview, but before we start, I'd just like to request if you could please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, like this video, and share with your family and friends so YouTube can recommend this to as many people as possible. Okay, let's start. So we are at the Overview tab. So this visa is for holders of a temporary graduate visa in the first post-study work stream who graduated with a degree from an Australian institution located in a regional area. It lets you live, work and study in Australia temporarily. Okay, so you can stay between 1 and 2 years depending on the regional location of the educational institution that you graduated from that led to the grant of your first temporary graduate visa in the post-study work stream. It also depends on the regional area that you live in as the holder of your first temporary graduate visa in the post-study work stream. The cost is Australian $680. There are no processing times available for this stream. You can stay in Australia for between 1 and 2 years, travel, work or study in Australia during your stay. However, you must find your own employment while on this visa, and the department is not responsible for arranging any employment. Okay, so you must be under the age of 50 to apply for this visa. Be in Australia when you apply for this visa. This is very important. Hold a temporary graduate visa in the post-study work stream, or hold a temporary graduate visa in the replacement stream and have held a temporary graduate visa in the post-study work stream as the main applicant. So what that means is that you can't let the first temporary graduate visa cease, go on a tourist visa, for example, and then apply for this. You must still hold your first temporary graduate visa when you apply for the second post-study work visa, temporary graduate visa. And you must have been the main applicant on the first post-study work stream visa as well. Okay. You must have a degree in a cross research course, and the education provider must be designated in the regional area that led to the grant of your first temporary graduate visa in the post-study work stream. Okay, have lived in an eligible designated regional area for at least 2 years before applying for the second temporary graduate visa in the post-study work stream, and have evidence of adequate health insurance for all applicants when you apply. Okay, so just quickly we'll go over what that means is when you were actually studying on your student visa before you applied for your first temporary graduate visa, you would have needed to have studied in a designated regional area with your education provider. And then once you got your first temporary graduate visa, you would have stayed in a regional area in the 2 years that you were granted your first post-study work visa, and then now you're applying, so you're still living in a regional area when you're applying for your second 485 visa in the post-study stream. So that's very important. Okay, so that is the overview tab. Let's have a look at the about this visa tab. Okay, so with this visa, again, stay in Australia between 1 and 2 years. You can travel, work and study in Australia during your stay. Must find your own employment. Okay, and so this is very important. How long can you stay? So depending on which category you studied and lived, you will be granted a 1-year period or a 2-year period in the second post-study 485 visa. Now, if you click on this tab, it will show you what the Category 2 and Category 3 areas are. So the Category 2 areas are cities and major regional centres of Perth, Adelaide, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, Canberra, Newcastle, Lake Macquarie, Wollongong, Illawarra, Geelong and Hobart. Okay, and so here, as it says, that you'll be granted an additional year in the post-study work visa, and Category 3 are regional centres and other regional areas, and you'll be granted additional 2 years. So you'll see from this link here the list of postcodes that are Category 2 or 3. Okay, so back to the about this visa tab. Okay, so you can't stay or extend this visa, but you can't stay in Australia any longer by extending this visa. This visa is not extendable. You can, when you apply for this visa, include members of any family unit when you apply for the visa, but they must meet their own health and character requirements. You can add your children to the application until a decision is made on your application. You can't add any other members of the family unit to your application during that period, so only children. Okay. Your family can also apply to join you in Australia after the visa is granted. The cost of the visa is $680 Australian for the main applicant. There's also a charge for each family member who applies for the visa with you, and subsequent entrants must pay the full application charge. So if they apply together with you, it's cheaper. If they apply a subsequent entrance, it's going to be $180 for each applicant. They also will have to, you and they will also have to pay other costs for health checks and police certificates and biometrics if required. You can get a more accurate estimate using the visa pricing estimator. The temporary graduate visa is exempt from the subsequent temporary application charge. This is important. You and your accompanying dependents must be in Australia to apply for the second temporary graduate post-study work stream visa. However, subsequent entrants can be outside Australia when they apply and when they are granted the visa. Processing times are not available. It will be delayed if you are missing documents. So, yeah, just make sure everything is provided. Must comply with all the visa conditions. When you hold the visa, you can travel outside Australia and return as many times as you like while the visa is valid. However, any time you spend outside Australia does not extend the visa, and no visa label. The visa is electronically linked to the passport. So that was the About This Visa tab. Let's have a look at the Eligibility tab. Okay, must be under 50 to apply for this visa. Must have this visa. So this is a bit more in-depth compared to the overview, so read this at your own leisure, but basically just saying what I said earlier. Don't let the visa expire. You must hold the first temporary graduate visa when you apply for the second one, and you must be the main visa holder. So one of your dependents cannot then apply for the second one. And you must not have held the 485 in the other streams, like in the recognized graduate or the graduate work stream. Okay, so read this more at your own leisure. Have studied with an education provider in a designated regional area. Again, more details here with the designated regional area, which we looked at earlier. You must have also lived, not only studied, but lived in a designated regional area. Again, more information here, category 2 and category 3, and you'll get 1 or 2 years. And yeah, here is more of a breakdown for all the regions. Okay, so that's that. So work and study in a designated regional area. If you worked or studied while you held your first temporary graduate visa, or post-study in the post-study work stream or the replacement stream, the work and study must have been in the designated regional area. You will be asked to provide evidence of that. So that's basically self-explanatory. So while you were holding the first temporary graduate visa, you must have also worked or studied in the designated regional area, and you'll need to provide evidence of that to get your additional 1 or 2 years. You will need to provide evidence of adequate health insurance. Again, more information is here. Meet the health requirement, the character requirement. So same as your first temporary graduate visa. So I'm not going to go into more details. Sign the value statement, have no debt to the government, and not have had a previous application refused or cancelled. Okay, so that is the eligibility tab. And now let's have a look at the step-by-step tab, the final tab. Okay, so step 1, before you apply, you will need to make sure, obviously, you have a valid passport. If not, you'll need to do so before applying for this visa. So make sure you keep an eye on the expiry date of your passport, check your visa conditions. You're most likely not to have a no further stay condition on your visa if you're already holding a first 485 visa. Organize your health exams. You don't need to wait until you've been requested. You can do so prior. If you get help with your application, you need to provide your migration agent or legal practitioner needs to provide documents 956 or 956A confirming that they're acting on your behalf. So that's step 1. Step 2, gather your documents. You need to provide the following: identity documents, so that's passport, driver's license, national ID card, residence documents. So these are very important. Remember, in the previous tab, you need to show evidence. So read this in more detail. So you need to show the 2 years that you were on your first temporary graduate visa, that you've done all this, and some of the examples are driver's license, address, utility bills, mortgage documents or tenancy agreement, bank statements, and anything else relating to your children's schooling or any other evidence you can provide to show that you lived and worked in a designated regional area for those 2 years. Also, work and study documents. Again, if you also studied and worked, you need to show proof of that. So residence, work and study evidence. Your health insurance documents, you need to provide proof of your health insurance is still valid. Would have been basically just continued from your previous temporary graduate visa. You're just extending it, so you need to show that the expiry date is in the future. Character documents, you just need to if you're most likely your Australian Federal Police certificate has expired because it's only valid for 12 months from the date of issue, so you might need to get an updated one, and you might need to provide these forms as well, but definitely provide an updated Australian Federal Police certificate, and if requested you might need to provide these too, but not at the initial stage. It says if requested. Okay. Tell us if you're getting help. So again, those 956, 956A form from your migration agent or lawyer. Partner documents, so similar to your first one, if you had dependents, so you need to show marriage certificate, birth certificate for any other children showing you're the parent or parents, and any, most unlikely, but any dependents over 18, you need to show proof of their birth and that you're the parent. So again, click on these tabs for more information. So that is step 2. Step 3, apply for the visa. Has to be online through IMI account, and once you've applied, or after you've applied, step 4, you'll be granted a bridging visa. And make sure if you need to travel or update us, update the department through the IMI account, and basically go through these tabs. It's the same as your previous 405, so I'm not going to go into more detail because this video will be very, very long. Then you'll find out your visa outcome, if you get the 1 or 2 years, or if you're successful or unsuccessful. So that's it. That is, ladies and gentlemen, the second post-study workstream visa, subclass 485. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please, another request, almost all of the videos now, all of them, this is the 22nd or the 23rd video, 97% of the people that watch the videos on this channel are not subscribed to the channel. So I just request, if you could show your gratitude, getting free information, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, give this video a like, share this video with family and friends so YouTube recommends it to as many people as possible, and leave a comment that this video has helped you. Okay, have a good day. Bye bye.